After 17 years on a break, the Friends cast is finally reunited for one last reunion special on HBO Max. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, I'm Dylan Randazzo. Welcome to the Dill Pickle Movie Network, and I'm so excited to be talking about Friends, the reunion, otherwise known as the one where they get back together, also known as the one you've all been waiting for. Whatever title you want to call it, it is the one that dropped on HBO Max earlier today, and I'm really excited to talk about this because I am a huge Friends fan. Right off the bat, I do have to preface that this is not your typical reboot. This is not a continuation of the series itself. This is merely a reunion, meaning it is the cast members getting together to reminisce about their time on Friends, recall some moments. Some new moments come in with the cast itself, but it is not a continuation of these character stories. We're not seeing the continuation of Joey, Monica, Chandler, Phoebe, Ross, and Rachel's story. Instead, we're seeing the continuation of Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer's story, a continuation of their friendships all these years later. I think some people will be a little bit disappointed because they expected this to be a continuation of the series as it left off in the season finale. I do think Lisa Kudrow, though, in an interview with James Corden, says a really important thing in that, these characters' arcs ended so well with the finale that to, take them in different directions or take them in more directions, it's never going to be the most satisfying ending compared to what we already got. So rather than continuing the story and having the possibility of ruining some of these characters' perfect endings, they decided to just make it about the cast and about the history of Friends and Friends as a pop culture phenomenon.
I went to the producer of the show I was on, and he said, that show's not going to make you a star.
The reunion is very straightforward. It's really the cast members walking around reminiscing on the old set, reminiscing with one another. They even play a trivia game in the same style as the one from The One with the Embryos, where Ross is asking questions, and this time the cast members are answering questions about Friends trivia.
Rachel wrote Ross a letter and demanded he read it before they got back together. How many pages was that letter? 18 pages!
There are exclusive behind-the-scenes clips, there are interviews with the creators of Friends, as well as interviews from a lot of different celebrities, and it's really nice to hear what Friends means to them because it's pretty much in line with what other people feel about Friends. People like me and you, people who aren't necessarily big celebrities, but we all have that common love for this show that is so special to so many people. There was also a lengthy interview portion with James Corden where he sits down with the 6 cast members. This is kind of interwoven throughout the piece, and it honestly makes for a nicely edited special. You go back and forth between this interview and then into the other moments with behind-the-scenes stuff and table reads. While the interview with James Corden is not necessarily the most intriguing aspect of this whole special, I think it definitely keeps the special on a nice pace throughout and really ties together every little moment to one cohesive through line. This interview also provides lots of really nice, juicy little secrets between the Friends cast. You find out about some of the crushes between cast members of these 6 cast members. You find out about a secret crush that not many people know about. There's also a certain disdain and distaste for a particular primate cast member, if you can guess who that is. It's made very clear in this special, but I think it's been known for a while that Friends is more than just a popular sitcom. It might not even be the best sitcom out there, but it has literally exceeded the boundaries of what a sitcom is. It has become a worldwide phenomenon. And you see this with certain celebrities showing up, like Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga. You see just how wide of a fan base and generational span that the show has had. The Lady Gaga moment in particular is great. She sings the duet Smelly Cat with Phoebe, with Lisa Kudrow, kind of acting as Phoebe singing the song, and it's a really nice moment. It's a great reorchestration of the song itself, a song that is so beloved to all Friends fans.
Smelly cat, it's not your fault.
I think the special really appeals to everyone from every aspect of the scale. It appeals to those people who are diehards who can get 10 out of 10 on every BuzzFeed quiz out there. It can appeal to those who have watched the entire series and cheered when Rachel finally got off the plane.
Oh my God, did she get off the plane? Did she get off the plane?
I got off the plane.
It can appeal to a casual fan who watches reruns every now and then on every network on cable TV. It can appeal to someone of a newer generation who's discovering Friends for the first time and recently binged it on Netflix or HBOMAX. I even think there's an appeal for the people who really aren't Friends fans at all, the people who claim that Friends isn't that great, but they still clap along 4 times in the theme song just because they're not sociopaths. I think that's why this reunion is more anticipated than any other reunion and why the stakes are almost higher, because even if you're not a Friends fan, Friends is still something very well known in the culture and still talked about to this day. There's reasons why Netflix and HBO Max and all these different streaming services paid so much money to get this show on their service, because it is a cultural phenomenon. And that's why I think people, from biggest fans to smallest fans, to not fans at all, will still appreciate this reunion and still respect it and enjoy it.
Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yes.
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 Bullshit.
I think this is definitely a stronger reunion than anything like Fuller House, the Saved by the Bell remake, the Roseanne reboot, just because this one doesn't try to continue the story, but rather reflects on the story already being told. And I think that's one of the strengths it has. As much as people might have wanted to see what these characters were up to all these years later, I think it's nice knowing that that was the perfect ending, and that this can just be focused on the humans who made this beautiful story themselves. Some of my favorite moments, I mean, the first moment where they're all walking onto the set, saying hi to one another for the first time, and realizing that they're in the same room together after 17 whole years.
Wow. Does Courtney still have her lines written on the table?
Seeing them walk around this recreated set that has literally been replicated prop by prop. It's really, really impressive to see what the production designers did in recreating this atmosphere, and it's really amazing to see these actors in response to those things. The script readings are great. They do some script readings, so you can hear these characters now at a later point in their life retelling the stories as their characters. They do read from the script. They read the scene with the famous jellyfish where several characters tell the story of Monica getting stung by a jellyfish and people needing to pee on her. They read through my favorite episode, the one where everyone finds out, where Phoebe discovers that Chandler and Monica are together.
This is from the one where everyone finds out.
Oh! Oh! My eyes! I know.
David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston also read their famous Ross and Rachel moment where they do kiss for the first time, and it is a beautiful moment. Even read all these years later, they still have that beautiful attachment and charisma and chemistry that is really beautiful to see, even with scripts in their hand, sitting across the table from one another. The bloopers are, of course, really, really funny. There's one blooper in particular where a cast member, one of the 6, actually dislocates their arm jumping into a seat. It's really, really amazing to see exactly what happened and what unfolded after that, as well as some other really funny bloopers here and there. Just stuff that only adds to the experience and makes us love these people even more. As if we thought we couldn't love them more, we do, because these bloopers are just so great in showing us who they are as people.
The first table read, that's the first time I laid eyes on any of you.
Everyone was so perfectly cast.
This is a really special reunion. I mean, I was crying from the start to the end just because it was so emotional for me to see these people that I grew up loving back together, reminiscing and just taking in this experience, because they do mention that they probably won't do this in another 15 years. You know, this is a special one-time thing. It takes a lot from HBOMAX to produce this, especially with the budget, hiring each cast member. It's probably costly, and because, you know, they don't want it to wear out. They don't want to ruin what was so perfect and what ended so perfectly. Did we necessarily need this special? No. But then again, do we need anything? And the answer is no. And I think as long as it can justify what it is and make us feel things and make us smile and make us feel good and make us laugh, you know, I think that's the beauty of this. I think what was so special about Friends from the very beginning, from its origins all the way till now in 2021, I think the most important thing has been that these are your friends too. You know, you watch them every single week. You grow as much in love with them as they do with one another. And they feel like your friends, even though you're watching them through a TV screen.
We became best friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry now.
These 6 people have become such a meaningful part to the fans. And that segment where all the fans are telling their experiences and why Friends is important to them is probably my favorite moment of the whole reunion special, because it's really, really powerful to see other fans responding to this show and what it means to them in such different lights, but also very similar lights, and being able to connect with that as a fan personally. At the end of the day, I think the Friends reunion is definitely a recommendation for me. Like I said, if you're a massive Friends fan, you will obviously love it. If you're not a big Friends fan, I think you'll still appreciate it because it is so much more than just the characters and the content of the episodes themselves, but rather the relationships of this cast and what it means to so many people across so many different walks of life. To see these actors together really just reminded us what was so special about Friends from the start. Their ability to make you feel like you were their friend, they were yours, and that they'll be there for you. So that's my review on Friends, the reunion. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Were you underwhelmed by the fact that this wasn't a continuation of the story? Did you like how this was more of a reunion of the cast? What were your thoughts? What were your favorite moments? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. HBO Max, you are my lobster. See you next time, everyone.